Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. We are back at Kyle's garage. It's about 3 weeks since I've been back here. They made a ton of progress on the car since I've been gone, but today we are all here. It's Thanksgiving weekend, it's the Saturday. In between that time, from when I was here last to now, I actually assembled the transmission that we're going to be putting into this car. I really wish that I could have gotten a video out of that, but I was really pressed on time for that, so I needed to get that done as soon as possible. And of course, with recording and making videos during a process like that, it just makes that process that much longer, so I kind of had to forego that. But luckily the guys are willing to film and kind of help me document this progress as well. So Kyle's been working on the fab for the cage. He's still working on it right now. We'll take a look at that in a second here. Charlie's been in charge of the engine, coating subframes, suspension parts and stuff like that. Right here we have the front subframe. It's actually been entirely zinc coated, and then I think Charlie even put like a matte clear over it as well, so it looks a little bit bronze, which is kind of cool, but it should be heavily resistant to corrosion. So our rear subframe is also in that same finish, which they're working on inside right now. But the goal today is to get that rear subframe in, all the suspension parts back onto it. We're replacing pretty much virtually every single bolt with OEM Honda bolts, new wheel bearings, new control arms, all that stuff. All OE replacement stuff, because with Champ Car, the more you start to modify the car, the more points that takes, and then the more laps you end up starting behind during a race. So a lot of work done to the car, but more so it's going to be pretty much stock-ish. So Charlie and Peter are going to be knocking out everything at the rear. I'm going to assemble a small press that Charlie got, and I'm going to be pressing in brand new wheel bearings for the front knuckles. So when that's done and we're ready to put in this new front subframe with the engine and trans, then all of the suspension components can go on right afterwards. So let's go inside and take a look at the progress in the car. Hey guys, real quick, one thing I want to let you guys know, that once we go into this garage, you guys are going to see that the TSX is about halfway through the roll cage. I'm going to touch on it a little bit in the video, but I really want to walk you guys through the whole entire cage process. So this thing is going to be a little bit out of chronological order. This video is going to basically start at the halfway point of the cage building process, and then the next video that I put out is going to be starting at the very beginning of the cage process. Again, like I told you guys, the rest of the other members on the team are also recording videos on this whole process, and I don't have that footage with me yet, so I want to keep this process going. I want to keep pumping out videos so that we can keep this momentum. So yeah, this video, you guys are going to see the cage about halfway built. Don't worry about it too much. If I don't talk about it, that's fine, because the next video is going to be nothing but the cage process. And at the end of this next roll cage build video, we'll be back to the normal chronological order, and everything should be back to where it needs to be. So just wanted to let you guys know. Let's get back to the video. All right, here's the car. Kyle's still working on the cage. Charlie and Pete assembling the rear subframe. The cage looks like so far. Super tight to the body of the car. Kyle did 3D scan the interior of the car, and that's why the fitment is so top notch. Getting there. Alright, so what Charlie and Pete are doing is they're figuring out where the fuel tank is hitting the subframe so that we can put some matting or protection between the fuel tank and the subframe so we don't rub through, right? That's the whole idea? Yep. They put all the suspension arms on already, all of our new OEM bolts supplied by, how do you pronounce it? Is it Berkel? The dealership? Berkel?
Yeah, Berkel.
Courtesy of Fu over at Berkel Honda. And I got the press assembled, the baby press on the table here. I'm going to be in charge of new wheel bearings. Charlie coated the front knuckles. Got all the OEM Honda ball joints, wheel bearings, the new strip clips. And then Kyle is working on the subframe bolt that we ended up snapping off. You actually drew it up in CAD. We were gonna like completely remake this piece, right?
Yeah, we were gonna remake it. We ended up, our machinist was gonna remake the lug that goes in here, but then he was able to just extract that broken bolt out of there. So
that was nice. This saves a lot of work. We just gotta, kind of just gotta weld it back together and attach it to the car again, pretty much. So that saved us there. A whole bunch of custom work, I guess. use these hubs and also put on ARP extended studs, I believe, which are somewhere over here. Yeah, right there. Alright, we're test fitting the subframe to make sure before Kyle starts welding that mount there that it's in the right spot. Passenger side needs to go forward. Alright, that one's lined up.
Right.
This one's going in.
That's good. Ooh, yeah. So this mount needs to come this way.
Which mount?
This bracket needs to come this way.
Towards outside or inside?
Inside. A little bit over a quarter inch. Yeah. Yeah. It's off by quite a bit. See it?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Uh-huh.
And that's why we test fit before we weld.
Before you go full weld.
I know, that would have sucked, huh? Okay, update. New ball joints are in. Had to run to O'Reilly's, get the Honda ball joint kit because I was missing literally just this piece to do the install. The normal kits right here. This is in addition to that, which allowed me to press these in. Then now got the ARP wheel studs on the hubs. So wheel bearings next, circlip, and then the hubs, and then the front knuckle should be done. I already pressed wheel studs into the rear hubs, which are somewhere around here. On the table over here. Right here. These are brand new OEM hub bearings for the rear. And then we're fitting the subframe up for install. It's been welded in. This will allow us to bolt all this other stuff up. And then the engine and trans will get mated together, and then they'll go in. Alright, done with lunch. Had to run to Harbor Freight and get a wheel bearing press kit because since we have this small boy, it makes it a little bit difficult to press in wheel bearings on this thing. So we got some adapters. Also picked up a tap and die kit so we could chase the threads on one of those subframe bolts. Big M1415. Charlie and Pete gonna be assembling the struts and springs. Looks like we already got the rear knuckles on. We're still missing the trailing arm, so it's not all there yet, but it's coming together. Front knuckles assembled, rear shocks and springs are installed. Looks so good, everything's so brand new. And they're still working on the last one, that's the other one of the fronts, and they're working on the other one up there. Kyle ran to the store real quick, went to Northern Tool. We need a M12-125 tap to clean out all these holes in the subframe here after Charlie coated it. So Once that's done, then we can finally bolt this together, and then all the suspension can then go on with the knuckles there. Alright, Charlie and I just got back from grabbing the engine at his place. Also pulled out the trans. It's in the shop now. That's what I put together. This is the motor. And we gotta throw the clutch, the flywheel clutch on that, and then we can make the trans sealed. And it's gonna go in the car. And while we were away, more work was finished on the car. Kyle and Peter got the front subframe bolted in. All the suspension pretty much installed. Everything's installed loosely, nothing's really tightened up, but shock springs, knuckles, and the new rack and pinion is also in. It's just always nice to see fresh or brand new parts in a car, ready for this new engine and trans. Oh yeah.
The JDM K24 has a different water pump housing casting, so you have to switch over to a USDM one, which then is a USDM water pump, tensioner, and alternator. Yeah, just put a new pan on it. The pan that came on it was kind of dented just from transportation. Cleaned out some of the visual soap and crusty stuff on the intake manifold. But aside from that, just drop in, ready to go. That's one of the best things about getting a low mileage JDM K24. It's no fuss. For the application that we're using it in, it's going to do a great job.
And the reason why we're not using the stock motor that came with this car is because it was like a 250,000 mile motor or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, it looked like a typical 200,000+ mile, just caked in oil. Whereas JDM K24, this one we got from one of our good friends, Andy at ASM. He was nice enough to allocate his normal shipping of the engines that they get and secure one for us, so thank you, Andy. But yeah, as you can see, it's dry, super clean, no leaks, just resealed everything, new front seal, just in case, put a new tensioner in there, and she should be good to go.
Threw the seat in, see what it looks like. Actually sat in it. Plenty of room for all of us, our various heights. We've got Charlie and me at like below 5'5", and then we got Kyle that's what,
6'3", yeah.
6'3". So all of us have to fit in this car. We got a slider, so it's going to be able to accommodate an array of different heights, and we should be fine. Got the full containment seat, which I haven't driven a car with a seat like that, so I guess that'll take a little time getting used to, not being able to see or blind spots.
You definitely can't look back. So.
Kyle and Pete are going to take care of this rack and pinion. Charlie and I are going to throw the clutch and flywheel on. Cleaned up the old flywheel bolts. Put some Loctite on them. Work this thing down. We made it back from dinner. We went to go get some engine mounts because we think they're at Charlie's storage unit, and that's kind of far, so we just went and bought some new ones at AutoZone. Front and passenger right over there, but we're missing the brackets, which could also be at Charlie's storage unit. So we're gonna call it a night. We spent most of the day here. We made some good progress though, but today consisted of a lot of running around, getting tools, finding bolts, finding parts. But I think we still made a bunch of progress, so I think that's pretty much where we're gonna end this video. Tomorrow I am heading back to Chicago, and these guys are gonna continue working on the car. Kyle's still got a little bit more of the cage to finish. He is still doing the door bars and intrusion bars, and I think that's it. I mean, I think we started at 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and it's now probably 10 o'clock now, so long day, but plenty of progress. So until next time, I don't know when I'm gonna be back. Possibly next weekend, maybe, if they need me here for anything. If not, probably Christmas time. Considering all things, we've only been working on this thing for about a month, and we've already gotten, you know, this far, right? That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to stay up to date, especially with this thing right now, the new race car, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to share the video, that definitely helps out the channel. Until next time, stay safe, stay smooth. I'll see you guys in the next video.